What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Legitical Response. We cover political news. We keep you up to date and keep you informed with everything that the government does, or at least I try. I do my best to keep you guys informed with everything that the government does, or at least, the major things that the government does, bills, new legislation, Supreme Court cases, all that good stuff. Of course, y'all know the spiel. Y'all know what's up, what's going on. Of course, now, what we're going to get into today, now, we've been talking about this back and forth. This is kind of an update to an earlier story that I covered about Jim Jordan and James Comer wanting to get the unredacted audio tapes and documents and everything from Robert Hur's investigation into Joe Biden's classified documents case, right? We are still blown away by the fact that Robert Hur would use the excuse that Biden's memory is bad and he would be sympathetic to a jury as to the reason why they didn't want to prosecute him for the obvious crimes they committed. I mean, this should have been a prosecutor's dream. You have, all the evidence in the world that you could ever want. As a matter of fact, he turned in the evidence himself, right? So you have all the evidence. Then you have these audio tapes of Joe Biden actually talking to his ghostwriter, telling him that this is classified documents, y'all. And, I could get in trouble for telling you about this. Got that on audio tape. So we got a smoking gun, and then we have a photo of the crime scene as he was doing it. And Robert Hur refuses to prosecute because he's a doddering old man. Well, when it comes to the people's government, Congress, if you will, we have oversight over these things. But, as Merrick Garland and Joe Biden, the Biden administration has proven that they don't care about the Constitution whatsoever. They don't care about the people's government. They don't care about you. They don't care about your voice at all, because when they deny oversight, that is a slap in the face to every single American who votes for their congressmen and women. That is a slap in the face. That is a hard slap in the face. As a matter of fact, that is a slap in the face with his... No, I didn't actually say it, but I put the bleep in there just because to make it, for dramatic effect.
That we must adhere to established standards of decorum in debate.
But, all jokes aside, it really is a slap in the face just how much obstructing the Department of Justice has been to their oversight, to being overseen, because that's the whole reason for Congress. They make up the laws. The Biden administration, the executive branch, is supposed to enforce those laws, and when they don't enforce those laws properly, how it's supposed to be done, that's when Congress steps in and says, hey, look, you need to straighten up, and if they don't straighten up, then you get fired, you get impeached, you get kicked out. And they've been threatening contempt of Congress charges on Merrick Garland if you don't turn this evidence over. We want to see it. They have the security clearance to look at classified stuff. So there is no reason in the world that the DOJ should not turn over this evidence, but they are absolutely refusing to turn over the audio tapes, the unredacted documents, all that stuff. James Comer and Jim Jordan, they want to see this because they need to see this to finish their investigation into the Biden impeachment inquiry. They need to wrap that shit up in a nice little box with a bow on top and give it to the American people come November 5th, right? They want to make sure that Joe Biden looks as corrupt as possible, because he is very corrupt, and for some reason, the corporate press and the left keep on defending Joe Biden. However, it's not really working these days, is it? No, I don't think it's working too well, because the Democrat Party is just, hemorrhaging voters like crazy. Look at the polls. Trump is up, in some polls, 12 freaking points, for God's sakes. He's up like 2 points in aggregate overall. Biden had a little surge, right after his State of the Union address, which I will give him props. He did good for most of it. There was only like 110 slurs. There was only 100 slurs, and that's good for Joe Biden, right? That's good. He was actually able to walk all the way through the chambers, to the Congress chambers, the House floor. Walk all the way up to the podium and speak for an hour. and walk off. You got to give the man props for that, y'all. He did a great job walking up there and talking and coming back. You know, which in stark contrast, like I said in my last video, you got Donald Trump does a rally, talks for a couple hours, then goes to court, then goes back and does another rally, then does another rally, then he goes to court. And he's constantly on X, he's constantly doing stuff. You know, he's already offered to debate Joe Biden twice, but Joe Biden he can't debate. You know, I'll give that. That's a low blow for Trump to do, right? To debate your political opponent. That's a low blow, Trump. You're evil for that one, man. But these people are just outright insane, if you ask me. These nut jobs on the left, they will run cover. You know, Joe Biden could freaking murder somebody in the streets, and they would try to justify it. They would come up with some wacky lame brain conspiracy theory to justify why Joe Biden shot this person. Oh, he was a threat. You know, they would just come up with something, some wacky lunatic far left fringe conspiracy I don't know. I was trying to throw as many trigger words in there as I could, but you know, sorry, I'm being a little hyperbolic right now if y'all can't tell. But let's go ahead and get into the story because I've ranted for way too long. Justice Department blasts GOP effort to hold Attorney Garland in contempt over Biden audio. They blast the GOP, right? Hang on. No. It should be the other way around, right? They are absolutely obstructing oversight here. And they are the ones blasting the GOP? No, I'm sorry. That's not how that works, folks. Congress is the boss because the founding fathers set up our government to have a people's arm of the government, have oversight over the executive branch, right? Which was unprecedented at the time because, you know, at the time the world was full of monarchies and things like that. So to have a legislative body have oversight over an executive body, that was kind of crazy. However, it was genius, y'all. Very genius. Man, our Constitution is one of the most beautiful documents you could ever look upon. Not only is the writing, it looks nice aesthetically, but just the language of it and the way it's put together, I wonder how long they thought about this. You know, like how many late nights were they sitting around like throwing ideas back and forth about what to do, about how to work out oversight and the Supreme Court, and I just wonder what those conversations were like. Do you guys ever wonder about, you know, how they came up with the idea, you know, when they were writing out the Constitution, like how long it took them and how many failed ideas did they have and all that? Let me know down in the comments if you guys ever think about stuff like that. Let's go ahead and get into the story right quick because, man, I've got a ramble motor mouth this afternoon for some reason, and I don't know why. All right, here we go. The Justice Department is blasting Republicans' effort to hold Attorney General Merrick Garland in contempt over his refusal to turn over unredacted materials related to the special counsel's probe into President Joe Biden's handling of classified documents. That's according to a letter obtained Monday by the Associated Press. The department in that letter rejected Reps Jim Jordan and James Comer's demand to turn over the unredacted audio of special counsel Hur's interview with Biden and his ghostwriter. The department said it has so far complied with all the other asks from the House Judiciary and Oversight Committees. The pushback could potentially set up a scenario where the president would have to exert executive privilege to halt the release of the audio recording. That, my friends, is an outright non-hyperbolic slap in the face to every single American in this country, folks. Why do they not want to turn over the unredacted audio files? What is on those audio files? See, them refusing to turn this stuff over only makes it look more suspicious, right? Are we going to find something in there that is damning to Joe Biden? Like, really? Like, serious? Like, they had a whole committee hearing explaining all this. You know, Robert Hur testified for what was like 5 hours or something like that. A damn committee hearing. They went over all kinds of stuff, but that was all redacted. that was redacted from the DOJ. Why can't we have the unredacted, what is in there? You know, I understand privacy stuff, but Jim Jordan and James Comer wouldn't be asking for the unredacted audio files if it was just privacy issues that were leaked, right? Like, we want to know exactly what was in that interview. Like I said earlier, Jim Jordan and James Comer, they have classification clearance, right? They can listen to all this stuff. They don't have, if it's something to do with privacy, they want to know it. They have the classification certification, if you will, to listen to this stuff, right? If it's private, they're not going to leak it. They just want to know what's in there. And why was it redacted in the first place? Is way too many questions with this, right? And they have an impeachment inquiry going on, and the fact that the DOJ refuses to turn over the unredacted files just blows my freaking mind. I'm sorry. I know I'm trying to stop saying blows my freaking mind, because I'm tired of my mind getting blown, to be honest with you, but it's well beyond my understandability, my comprehension level to understand why they can't force the DOJ to give over this evidence. And, can the president actually exert executive privilege over an interview from the DOJ? You're like, really? Like, is it really that bad that if he has to go to that length, what the hell was on those tapes? I would really love to know. I'm sure you would love to know. But I could sit here and speculate on this all stinking day long, and that's not going to do any good. But I just wanted to put this story out there just to let everybody know exactly how corrupt the Biden administration is. They're refusing oversight. And this ain't the first instance. No, this has been going on ever since Joe Biden got put into office. They have been obstructing oversight time and time again, right? They just brush off the Supreme Court. They're acting very, very much like an authoritarian regime, right? The Supreme Court tells them, man, you can't pay off student loans. And Joe Biden goes and does it anyway. I read a story earlier. He's coming up with a new proposal for more student loan forgiveness. It's like, come on, dude. And he's like, I need Republicans to get a spine and work with us so we can have some border security. It's like, what? Dude, you sit on top of the executive branch, dude. For God's sakes. You could shut the border down if you wanted to. Just re-implement the Remain in Mexico policy. That's all he would have to do, is re-implement the Remain in Mexico policy. Border crisis is over with. With the click of a pen, literally. But it blows my mind he's telling Republicans to grow a spine and pass that border amnesty bill that that's why Republicans don't want to pass that. But like I said, I've rambled for long enough on this one, you guys. I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comment section. Do you think that there is something hidden on all those redacted audio files and the redacted report from Robert Hur that could incriminate Joe Biden even further? Or do you think it's maybe just privacy issues and he doesn't want to turn it, unredact all that stuff because he'll be embarrassed? Maybe, I don't know. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. That's all I got for this one, you guys. I want to thank everybody for watching. You guys are the best. Y'all keep them comments coming, by the way. And y'all try to have a good day and stay legitical. Peace.